I want to know. My name's John Clare. This is
Roman Dresch.
And this is the Post Watch Post Mortem. Today we're going to be talking about the new Netflix thriller, The Killer, directed by the one and the only David Fincher, one of my personal favourite directors, also starring Michael Fassbender and Tilda Swinton. And we're going to be watching this film.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to be watching this film. It's available on Netflix. It's made by Netflix, produced by Netflix. Mm-hmm. So we're going to watch the movie, and if you haven't watched the movie, it's time for you to stop the video and go watch it. And we'll be right back with a review, honest review of the movie. Okay?
So yeah, just after the blackout.
Blackout.
Okay, so we're back from watching the movie, and what do we think?
Yeah, I think I really enjoyed the movie. It's a pretty good. It's one of the I think it's one of the best David Fincher movie over there. Like maybe I'm over exaggerating a little bit, but I really like.
It's a good movie.
It's a good movie. Yes,
it's a very good film in my view. It may not be for everybody. No. I appreciate that fact because it is a very slow, very deliberate movie.
No, if you were looking for the John Wick of David Fincher,
you are going to be disappointed.
Yeah,
I freely admit that. I mean, I haven't seen any trailers. I'd heard about the film beforehand. I heard like murmurings about it on the interwebs, but I hadn't actually seen any trailers for it or anything like that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm very impressed with this movie. I like it. Would I say it's one of his best? Oh, he hasn't got a massive record filmography.
Yeah, it's a small one. Yeah, but
relatively speaking, but he has some bangers in there, though.
Can I say something? He's a man of perfection. The guy is a man of perfection. We're talking about a man that trust blood CGI because he want the blood pattern to be right here and not right here. It doesn't like random. Yeah, the man doesn't like random.
That was from The Girl in the Dragon Tattoo.
And he was for this movie as well.
Yeah.
All the blood splatter on his face, of what's the English actor again?
The English actor
is English.
Michael Fassbender.
No. Oh, I'm talking about the blood, the dragon, the girl with the dragon tattoo.
Daniel Craig.
There you go. Daniel Craig scene when he's like washing himself, he has the blood on his face. So the blood is CGI because he wants the blood to be on a certain way, like on his body, like like we talk about the guy like this, like it's a man of detail.
Yeah. See, that's the thing when it comes to CGI. If CGI is done right, you never notice it.
The movie is like what's the movie talking about?
The movie we're talking about, like The Killer. Yeah. Like, I mean, again, I just want to pick up that point, and then we're going to move on.
Yeah.
All right. Do I think it's a very good movie? Yes. Do I think it's among his best? You got to bear in mind this is the same guy who directed Fight Club.
Yeah.
Directed Gone Girl.
Yeah.
Who directed The Social Network.
Gone Girl is amazing. Yeah.
Gone Girl is amazing. Girl with a Dragon Tattoo. He's got some bangers in his lineup. So this is a very good movie, though.
Yeah.
Like, is it up there with Seven and Fight Club? Not quite, but it's still fucking good.
It's a different scale movie as well.
Yeah, true. But I mean, like, there are very different movies as well. But, like I said, do I think it's one of his best? I'd say it's a very good film. If it was any other director, it would be like, yeah, definitely one of their best. But David Fincher is that damn good,
So you mean like it do so many good movies that this movie can suffer from it?
Almost, yeah.
Oh, that's sad.
By comparison, it's just like he's that good. He's just one of the, it's the same with like Martin Scorsese or Quentin Tarantino. There are certain directors who they're so consistently good in what they do. Like you say, with David Fincher being so meticulous.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
He leave nothing for like random.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, because he has that meticulous eye and because that kind of eye for detail and that, like in all of his movies, like that I can recollect. I mean, Alien 3 aside, obviously. But his eye for detail, he's like the photography is always really, really top tier. The shot selection is always top tier. I mean, like from the very outset. But yeah, David Fincher is probably one of the best directors in modern Hollywood. And anyone who disagrees with me, you can fight me. But in terms of the Killer, right, the movie that we're actually going to be talking about today, I really, really like this film. Mm-hmm. I really do, right? And I love how deliberate it is. I love how, like, the start of the movie when he's in Paris, right? And I love the setup.
Yeah. So basically, the movie starts with this moment of him waking up at the sound of Paris. So the sound of bird shipping. Scooter driving away, or traffic starting to start up because. Paris is a strange city, but like like
Paris is beautiful.
If somebody talk about the sound of Paris waking up, I can hear it. Like I can hear the streets. I can hear the city starting to come alive. Like not like New York, which is like the city who never sleep or stuff like that.
Oh, very much.
But
so.
like
Same with London.
It's something that I can really imagine. Like and so the movie starts with this character. It was basically I was looking for the name of the character that Michael Fassbender plays.
His name's never
no.
revealed.
It says the killer.
Yeah,
because
you hear his name a lot, but it's always someone else's name.
It's always like an alias, or like a passport, or like an account. Like it just like have so many like identity.
Yeah,
that nobody knows what his real name.
But you spend so much time in his head though.
Yeah,
because as you said, like with the narration that goes on with the movie, it's like it's very much like it. It's very much you're there with him.
Yeah, it's the is the narrator of the movie, and so you're always inside of his head, basically.
And and it's clever as well because to give you an idea, like we're talking about like David Fincher's eye for detail, right? And this is what's impressive. There's this one sequence where, like, right again, this is very start. Yeah,
he takes his sniper out. He's ready to shoot his target.
Yeah,
he was basically in front of. There's a hotel room. He's living in what was we work.
Well, yeah, but because all right, just to get a bit of insight there.
Okay, go on.
All right. We work. I don't. I mean, for those who probably know, it's well known. Like it was run by this Israeli dude called Adam Newman. Mm-hmm. It had massive funding from the Japanese SoftBank. Adam Newman basically was this kind of almost cultish leader of the company. It was marketed as a tech company. It was just selling office space. It had a valuation before its IPO in 2019 of $40-something billion. Mm-hmm. Right. And just before it went for its IPO, it got yanked because of some sort of accounting finagling that was going on. And the company went bankrupt recently because basically Adam Newman was found, right before the IPO at least, that he, and this is stupid, and it's funny and it's stupid, that he bought the name for WeWork, right?
So he bought the name of his own company,
and he sold it back to his company for $6 million.
And where came from the money?
Oh well, basically like it probably came from SoftBank. SoftBank were the one bankrolling it all. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, they thought they had like a $40 billion company, and then anyway, all these like financial misdealings were going on. Yeah. There was other things as well. I don't know. That's just one example, but apparently there was a lot more to it. Private jets all over the world, like drinking champagne, tequila parties, all this kind of stuff. Apparently Adam Newman was a complete lunatic. Anyway, IPO got yanked. All this financial finagling was going on. The value of the company absolutely tumbled, and is now recently been declared bankrupt.
Okay,
which is hilarious.
It's the best cover for like a best like hiding point for like any assassin or killer.
Yeah, just an empty,
office space.
Yeah, empty WeWork building.
Yeah. So it's set on this empty WeWork building, which is very fun fact.
Yeah.
If you know the history of the company.
Yeah.
So like the detail, like
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Very, really very clever.
And so he's in this building in Paris. He has his narration on his head, and while he's like preparing his rifle, he's talking about this mantra. I think he always have like a mantra before he works.
1 second, I've got it up here for a second. The quote is, I did have it up here. Yeah, stick to your plan, anticipate, don't improvise, trust no one, never yield an advantage, fight only the battle you're paid to fight.
Yeah, and so he recites his mantra, and while he's reciting his mantra is like a voiceover, and the voiceover cuts like abruptly because somebody's opening the door behind him, like somebody's in the corridor, like you hear like noises, so like he cannot like hide anymore because he has his rifle is just in the front of the door. So what he do is like he prepare himself for shooting the poor man who just like stumbled like in his room like.
Yeah, well, it wasn't even that. It was because like you can hear the voices. It could have been anybody. Like you can hear someone talking and someone walking up the stairs. It could be one person. It could be several people.
Yeah.
He didn't know that. And then your man opens the door, dumps off a load of post, and fucks off again.
Yeah,
luckily for
just
him.
it was just there to deliver like mail or stuff like that.
To a company that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was a really to just kind of re-emphasize that the fact that the internal monologue cut off as soon as he heard those noises.
Yeah.
Right. So it kind of takes you out of his head. Then you see the man in action.
Yeah.
And you see what he was about to do, which
Yeah.
is kill some poor fucker, some poor unassuming bastard. But anyway, luckily, anyway, that near miss happens.
Yeah.
Your man goes away alive and well, and we resume
to the character monologue thing. And this scene in Paris is basically the scene that's just like it's all there to tell you about the character. Like the character never talk about himself. He never tell where he come from. He never tell when he why. Like it pretty much he talk about the profession of being a killer. Yeah,
I mean you do get one insight into his private life, but that's like, how would you describe it? It's the inciting incident, shall we say?
Yeah.
Because so as the monologue carries on and he gets the setup done and he does his like yoga stretches and listens to his music and sets up his gun and then breaks it down again and everything else. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, just for the music part, there's a lot of music in the movie because the character is listening to a playlist called work music.
Yeah.
Like on his little like MP3.
Yeah, it's always a Smiths.
The Smiths. It's always a Smiths. But every time you see him wear his headphones, it basically before that he said like I like the sound of music when I'm working. It basically
Creates a voice in the head. Yeah,
it creates a voice in the head. And after he's saying this, he put the music on and no more monologue when the music is on.
Yeah.
So basically the voice in his head, that's the one that we hear from the beginning.
Yep.
Just stopped.
Yeah.
And it was funny as well. It's like when you see him, the music is like muffled, like you hear somebody with headphones music on his head.
Yeah.
And when it's like back to his POV, the music is full volume, like.
Yeah.
And it's go back and forth like this, like.
It's just
so
like
it's just like so you are in his head, you are outside his head, you are in his head, you are inside his head.
First person, third person, first person, third person.
So really,
very well done.
You follow that character, like literally all his senses as well. You have his senses, you have his you're inside this person. Like.
Yeah, because another thing he does regularly is like he has one of these like whoops or like he's always keeping an eye on he's always managing his heart rate.
Yes.
As well. So that number gives you, like if the number's high, it gives you a very visual cue saying that his adrenaline's going.
Yeah.
But he's always bringing himself back down again.
Also, you have like this timer thing though. You do micro sleep of I don't know 15 minutes or stuff like that. You do micro sleep of 15 minutes. Like he always like check his time. And
he always wakes up before the beeper. You notice that?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, actually.
Yeah, every time, just before the beeper goes off, his eyes like beep, beep,
beep,
beep, beep.
He knows that's the beeper is on. Like so, yeah.
But it's fantastic. So anyway, with this character, for what feels like a while, man. It's about 10 minutes or so.
You see him it doesn't trust anything, so he has like his collapsible cup that he's carrying everywhere he is. So like he has every time he's drinking from this metal collapsible cup.
Oh yeah.
So basically, like even if it's an airplane or stuff like that, he always drinking from his glass.
Because trust no one.
It doesn't trust like any other like goblet or stuff like that, so nobody can kill him and reach him basically. So and also how the character look, because it doesn't look like a killer, and then he explained that in the movie that he took inspiration for his outfit out of a German tourist.
Good touch, really.
Yeah, because he has it's like beige, clothes, thing. And
like a
beige color
cool
and like a flower shirt. So basically, he never looks out of place, but he always look a bit silly. It doesn't look having like a flower shirt or something like that. just doesn't make you like a menace, like a threat. You know, like
Because that's the thing, though, is like when you think about it, like if you watch John Wick,
yeah,
you know,
black suit, black tie, or
Yeah.
Hitman, like a suit as well with a red tie or something.
yeah, they
like
always
that.
look like badasses.
Or do you know, like a black, or do you know, like black cardigan, like do you know, like a
Oh, the
neck, what is it called?
turtlenecks.
Black turtlenecks, full black, the bob or stuff like that. That's how you see a killer, like a do you know, like thing.
Yeah.
And he kind of break the thing. It's like, yeah, you just because you know, like it's the black suits for that is like if nobody wants to see you. If you don't want nobody to see you, but the problem in this day and age, there is camera everywhere. That's why he said in the movie,
he does,
there is camera everywhere. So the only thing you cannot be invisible. The thing you have to look boring.
Yeah.
You have to look forgettable.
Yeah.
And so this fella, he has a bob hat, the flower shirt, the beige color, never red, never like
No
black,
loud, nothing loud, nothing loud, nothing ostentatious,
Nothing
but nothing
cool.
cool either. Yeah.
No, nothing cool. You cannot wear anything cool. So he's wearing a bob.
Yeah.
Yeah, is like a it's
Yeah.
like
the German tourist look. I mean,
it's
I think
impossible.
it's
It's impossible to in this day and age to be invisible. So you
Yeah.
have to be boring.
yeah.
There you go. That's pretty cool.
So like, there's just like loads things. What it does is it gives you a great insight into the character's thoughts and methodology behind his work.
yes,
But you don't really. Again, the inciting incident aside, which we'll get to.
yeah,
There's never a sense where like you feel that you know him,
but like it's
which is by design. Which I
it's
think
the
is
only
brilliant.
character we talk about, and it's the only character we're following.
Yeah, and so anyway, to round this initial sequence out, anyway, we go through this entire sequence with him,
Paris.
where he's in the room in Paris.
We prepare himself to do his work and to do his like thing. So basically, he's waiting. It's just like a waiting until is the moment arrive.
And when the moment arrives, and there's this whole kind of very complicated sequence that kind of builds up, and it's very Hitchcockian. It kind of reminds me of Rear Window a little bit.
Yeah. So you don't see what's happening, but you just see from a distance.
Yeah, so like the camera's like because he's looking down through the telescopic sights,
Yeah.
and as he's moving around, he's trying to keep an eye on what's going on. He's trying to find like the perfect point.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
To take out his target.
He basically he stayed there in this office for so long that he see every routine of everybody.
That's right, yeah.
You see that woman that feed the cat on the side of the cafe. You see that man who has a shop next to the hotel room.
Yeah.
Next to the hotel is like basically open. It's just like you see him opening, closing the shop, and you basically see all those lives like in front of him.
Yeah.
You see the family with the kids and stuff like that. You know, like
Yeah.
and you know, like it's so that's. It's like at some point you see like in Paris you see an old woman in the apartment window that saw him.
Yeah.
You like to see him. So like, but she's not doing anything because it's just saw a man like in front of a window. Like she was in front of a window as well. You know,
Exactly. So what can you do?
yeah, it's like, and you saw like people making love or stuff like that. I think that's a very nice touch because you know, like it's you're like he's just witnessing all that while he's waiting for his
Yeah,
you know, like
it's very voyeuristic.
yeah, it's very voyeuristic, but also like you know, like it's almost like he stayed there for so long that he almost know those people.
Yeah, and also like not only, like it's, I think again like very much like Rear Window, which is a fucking brilliant movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, you get to a point where like you're seeing people, like you say, you see people's routines, and it's almost like watching TV to a point.
Yeah.
It's just like watching a soap opera.
That's the way he entertained himself a little bit.
Exactly,
Like,
yeah.
For example, when he's eating his sandwich at McDonald's, you know, like
Yeah.
he's sitting down, and we saw a shot of the one guy that's like relaxing on the, you know, like relaxing on the chair, like you know, like after a long day of work, so it's just like lay down like this, you know. Like,
Yeah.
you see all those details that you know, like it's they're there for explaining that basically he's like outside of all. Is he outside of all this?
Yeah, well, he is outside of it. Again, it's the whole kind of it's very voyeuristic, but not in like in a sexual perverted sense, but very
No.
much like it's kind of because like
Contemplative.
yeah, kind of like yeah, I'd say like he's kind of very much removed from it.
Yeah.
Because like a lot again, the people who live in the lives are just people in the area who live in the area, whereas he's kind of and also it's part of his job, I'd say to a degree, because he's got to keep an eye on what everyone's doing. So when the time does arrive, he knows what to do. Do you know what I mean?
Somebody could be a threat, or somebody could
Exactly.
be like yeah.
So anyway, so we go through this entire sequence with him, and then
Which I think is a beautiful sequence. The Paris sequence, even before the accident, is like it's one of my favorite intro ever because
Yeah.
it's very cool. It also is very slow and very. I think for that you say it takes like 10 minutes, maybe more.
Maybe more.
But
yeah.
all that scene is like basically him in Paris and just. I think that's the scene. The scene is necessary because you couldn't start the movie by the accident. You're like the shot of the sniper. But I don't think it would, like, this scenes kind of help the character to be like to put himself in his shoe, to give time for the audience to sympathize to him. Or
Not sympathise, more empathise.
Acclimating.
Yeah, or basically, like it puts you into it basically puts you into his shoes, puts you into his life. But anyway, just to get to the point where you said about the accident, the sniper shot that went wrong. Basically, what happens is like even despite all of this, despite its meticulous build up and you know the internal monologues and the the preparation, it goes wrong. So what happens is he's got the shot. Right, the man that he needs to assassinate. We never find out who he is. We never find out what the reasons are. Or anything like that.
You just saw the ensuite in front of his office, and the ensuite, like the maid starting to open the curtains, light up the room, prepare the room for the guy to
and he starts
the target to arrive.
Yeah, and he starts preparing himself in terms of getting his rifle together and everything else. And while this is all going on, this like tall, sexy lady comes in to entertain your man, and.
It's like going back and forth, like hiding behind a curtain, hiding like
not hiding.
No, not hiding, but like just the hand is visible or stuff like that. It never have a clear shot.
Yeah. So the one time he has a clear shot, just before like the dominatrix is about to close the windows, he has one perfect view. He takes the shot, but the problem is she shifts her hip, she shifts herself.
Yeah,
because the way she was moving beforehand, it was very much like she was like moving in very kind of like. Very kind of exaggerated, sexy ways.
Yeah.
So she was probably moving in an exaggerated, sexy way she was in front of a bullet.
Maybe she was distracting as well because he said no distraction. He was looking at her.
Yeah, of course.
So
how could you not? She was gorgeous.
Yeah. So basically, this very sexy woman make him miss that shot.
Yeah.
Because he was distracting.
Well, no, it's not just that though. But he did have a clear view. It was only for a split second. But the thing is, like, essentially, what he was trying to do, he was trying to shoot almost like past her to your man.
Yeah. Like for the side, like here.
Yeah. So she basically moved what must have been like a few inches.
Yeah.
And basically moved herself into the path of the bullet.
And
she's the one who gets shot, and he has to scarp her out. And it's this like wicked sequence where like he just packs up everything, hops on an electric scooter, and whips around Paris to avoid the police. It's so class.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Like So after it's chasing that's really beautifully shot as well, like there's a lot of action, there's a lot of tension and stuff like that. And right after that he go back home, he go back to his it's a safe place, and you see him he clean himself, he changed his clothes, and after he go to the airport and he sees dog, and you see that dog at the what do you call it, the checkpoint or the checkpoint thing, and it's like it's you see him go back because the dog stressed him out so much because he said maybe I think what he's saying because he never you don't talk that scene it's I don't know why, but he doesn't talk about that scene and he has this moment of paranoia, a kind of paranoia because.
It's two police officers talking at the checkpoint, and there's this fucking Alsatian dog looking at him.
Basically, what he did is he washed his hand again.
Yeah.
Even though he washed his hand before, he washed it again to make sure there is no gunpowder residue or give
himself a shave as well.
Give himself a shave. The first fight is he changed his clothes, he shaved his beard, and he washed his full body on a tiny sink. And then when he went to the airport and he see the dog, he go back again and wash all over himself once again in the bathroom as well, and even get rid of his watch, get rid of everything that could connect to him. And you see him also at the airport. I think what he did, he didn't go straight away to Republic Dominican. What he did, he went to somewhere. And then he took another flight. Yeah, basically. He cancelled his flight and went to another flight. So basically, to be sure to not being traced back, because he has this moment of paranoia when he see this other guy in the plane. Maybe he was never somebody was following him, but for him, it was somebody that was following him. So
Well, it could be following him. It could be a threat.
The shot that we shown, like if we see that character, like and it's like this guy could be a threat, you know. So he do all his best to try to think. So he canceled his flight and went to the hotel to the hotel of the airport.
Yeah.
Like put the glass on top of the glass on the top of the handle and like the metal like food cover like thing on the bottom so he can hear the thing. And you know, like in Leon, he never sleep in the bed. He just stand there and wait on the couch, like, you know, like
it's nuts, isn't it?
Yeah, no, yeah. So yeah,
go on.
And after that, so like we see him going to this Dominican Republic thing that is safe space. And I arrive at his place. He just saw like footprints and doing like a cigarette, like
basically he knows straight away something's wrong.
Something wrong, like
So he goes in. He goes into his house. It's a beautiful villa.
Yeah,
beautiful. But there's blood smeared across the walls, broken glass, everything else.
So you realize that basically because you don't know what's going on in the movie. He never tell you what he's doing. You realize that
because he doesn't know himself, so you don't know. Because remember, we're with him. We're not at no point is it being told in retrospect. So when he doesn't know what's going on, you don't know what's going on.
Yeah, but like the thing is like you don't know what's going on when you enter that villa. What's in this villa?
Yeah, because he doesn't know himself. That's
no. What I'm saying is like you don't know that there is a person in that villa that he loved, or you know, like you don't know that like he was worried about something. You see him running. You know, when he saw the footstep, like you see running, like he was like reaching. That's like, oh fuck, something happened. So basically, he's running to save something. To you know, like
yeah. But the thing is, though, I mean, like what you got to bear in mind
because at that point you don't know he has a partner.
Yeah, okay. I totally accept that fact. But what I find great about that is like, you know, when he arrives at the house, when he sees the footprints, when he picks up the cigarette, when he runs in, like the sheer look of panic on his face, like you don't run into a situation like that unless there's something or someone very important in there that you need to protect.
Yeah.
So like that's the thing is like you may not know intellectually that who the person is, but you know that that for him there's someone important in there and he needs to get the fuck in there to find out what's going on quick time.
Yeah.
So like there's a real sense a palpable sense of panic. Yeah. So a lot of it, I mean, you may not know intellectually, but you can infer that there is someone important there for him.
Yeah.
So and this person has been then targeted, and you find out, funnily enough, it's his wife, girlfriend. You know, partner. Yeah. We don't know exactly the relationship between the two of them, but we know that there is a relationship, and it's very important for him and for her.
Yeah.
Because like there's this, you know, it's quite a touching sequence in the hospital. She's all bashed up, but she's like, I told them nothing, and all this kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like out of fear either. It was, you could tell it was like, it was out of like love.
Like almost like, you know, like she trusts him so well.
Yeah.
She trusts him so well that basically she would never fail him.
Yeah.
You can see on her face like she would never fail him.
And she even says that like I kept fighting because I wanted to see you again.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know,
she doesn't give up because if she knew that if she gave up, she would never see him again.
Yeah. That's what I like about it. I mean, it's just like really well done. That sequence there is like, and that's what that is what you would call the inciting incident. Now, this is basically, you could draw an equivalence to John Wick and his wife dying.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Or his pup dying, or you're like
his dog dying. Yeah.
Because the dog was a connection to his wife. This last connection to his wife.
Yeah. We know all this. We've seen the film, right? But yeah, I mean, this is the inciting incident. But the thing is, like, it happens about, I'd say, a fifth of the way in.
Yeah.
All right. So we've already gone through this sequence in Paris, and it was a lengthy sequence from beginning to end. A lot happened in that period of time before he ends up by the hospital bedside of his partner, and then I mean, we understand straight away that this person is very important to him because it's the only time he really shows emotion.
Yeah. In
the entire movie, because a lot of the time he's suppressing the emotion.
Yeah.
Like Michael Fassbender's a fucking good actor.
He is. Yeah.
He really is. So like the fact, and it's not just about being emotive, but sometimes it's knowing when not to emote.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And like, fair play to Michael Fassbender, you know, absolute, you know, absolute credit to his craft, I'd say. So he suppresses all this emotion, he suppresses all this anguish, and he goes and finds retribution
Also,
and delivers.
Also, like in that scene when I know it's a genuine scene, but like when he's in the hospital, and the doctor tried to tell him something about it, like like about this condition, and he tried to bribe her, and she refused the money, and I think that tells him that she's in a safe space, basically.
Yeah,
you see what I mean? It's just like she's trying to bribe the doctor.
So if he couldn't bribe her, then no one else could bribe her in order to get to her.
She would never be bribed.
Yeah.
Ever.
So that's
how do you like literally? How do you know to trust somebody? It's like you try to bribe them, and if they refuse, you know you can trust them to do the right thing.
Yeah. Like, show don't tell.
Show don't tell. Like I don't know. It's just that scene. That's like it doesn't really matter. That scene. You could just left the hospital and just like you just bed and cut and is going. But just that scene when he's trying to bribe the nurse and the nurse refused the bribe. You look at him with despise, like
absolute disdain.
Yeah. In that moment, I think himself, he didn't do that to bribe her. He did that to test her.
Yeah.
If
you're probably right. Yeah, that's really well done. Well observed.
Yeah, it's like a trust thing. Like you're like he'll know that people like who wants money cannot be trusted.
Yeah.
Or bribed. Like most of the people that he's trying to kill try to bribe them, or do you like?
Well, that's what they'll do. It's like if you're in what some people do, I would imagine, is beg, plead for their life, and try and buy their way out of the situation.
Bargaining.
Yeah, bargaining. Yeah, exactly. So they'll try and bargain their way out of the situation by offering money, offering opportunity,
or
offering something.
Silence as well. Offering silence as well.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll never talk about it again.
Oh yeah, I'll never say anything. You'll never hear from me again. You'll never see me again.
And he doesn't trust it.
Of course not. Why would you?
He only trusts what he can see.
So like, because he says it in his little mantra, don't trust anyone, and so. Another thing he says is like forbid empathy. Empathy is weakness. Weakness is vulnerability.
Yeah,
that's another thing you hear him say. It's usually before he kills someone.
Yeah, it's like yeah. So after he discovered that his house was like sacked and his partner was like severely injured.
Yeah,
he go back to his employer and figure out who did it, who went to his house and beat up his partner .
Yeah, and it's what he does. Oh Jesus, man! These this whole sequence is all done in Chicago, and again
he rents a van.
Yeah, he rents a van. Oh, how meticulous everything is! Like he rents the van, he puts the stickers up on it, he buys all the right equipment to make it look like refuse. He buys a uniform.
No, he has the uniform. He just has a sticker and just do the for the blue jumpsuit.
Yeah,
and just draw himself the recycle logo thing.
Yeah, on his little pen holder.
Yeah, yeah, on the pen holder. Like it just did all the detail and stuff like that. Yeah.
And then he's like.
Also, it's a dumbest thing ever. The recycle guy going into the bin, with a massive bin inside of an office. I didn't see that before.
And someone in the lift, gets into the lift. Right, this is after the fact, and someone turns around and goes, "Oh yeah, do you want help hiding the body?" And everyone laughs.
Yeah, because yes, there is a body inside of the
exactly.
Yeah,
but I mean, so anyway, he always particularly. He even makes a quip about what's the name of that fucking program on the Discovery Channel? When they're buying all the fucking, buying.
Storage Hunter.
Storage Hunters.
Yeah.
So he even makes a quip about, if someone from Storage Hunters was ever to find him one of his little garages.
Garage, yeah.
Be
If he stopped paying the rent and the storage is going on sale, what those Storage Hunter will find,
lots of guns, lots of money, lots of passports, lots of fake license plates and all that kind of thing. Someone very dodgy was operating out of here. Mm-hmm. But it's just so anyway this whole plan gets put into motion,
and he went to torture the what's called the lawyer.
Yeah,
it's basically his employer.
Essentially,
his employer, and he's a middleman. He's the one he's the one who carry on the contract and make sure the contract is being fulfilled.
Correct, yeah.
And you go in there with this nail machine thing.
Nail gun.
Also, she tried to. I'll go back to her with the secretary. The secretary is like locked in the bathroom, and like the guy's locked on his chair, and he basically like want to know the names of the guy, and he'd say like, "Oh, I'm sure you have the names somewhere. You don't trust the cloud or stuff like that. You always have a physical copy." And before he could he tell him that he doesn't have the physical copy, he destroyed the computer in front of him because he doesn't want to be listened to or tracked to.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I don't have physical. So he goes and just like starting torturing him. Like it's the worst idea ever. Just like spiked like 3 nails.
Yeah, he just goes like he just takes a nail gun, goes
on his chest, and said like, yeah, you have to tell me what's the name and stuff like that, and and say fuck, he's dead. It's just like
because the plan was he was going to like punch three nails in his chest, expecting him to last X amount of time. When he punched 3 nails in his fucking chest. Of course, he's going to die.
Yeah, he died like straight away.
Exactly, more or less. So they didn't get the information he was looking for. So anyway,
for the secretary,
he
tried to kill herself with the medication or stuff like that. What did she try to do? Drug herself or something?
Yeah, she tried to drug herself. She tried to get rid of us because obviously, so she was in because basically she was the point of weakness, right?
She's the one who knows the.
No. She was the point of entry for Michael Fassbender's character. Like because he observed her routine ahead of time.
Yes.
And through some basically through like intelligent observation and pattern recognition, he was able to use her as the point of weakness to get in to access him.
Yeah.
So she probably feels a bit of guilt and she's probably fucking terrified. So you see that she tries to reach for a bottle to knock herself out. But anyway, he come once he's once he's realised the gravity of his mistake, he goes to take out the secretary. The secretary goes, "No, I can give you who you're looking for. I know who you're looking for." So anyway,
she bargained basically. Yeah.
She bargained successfully
until he gave what he needed and didn't need her anymore.
Yeah, he just knocked her down the stairs.
No, he broke her neck on top of the stairs,
and she fell over.
Yeah, she fell over. And so it looked like an accident.
Exactly. So Anyway, she dies. The other fella dies, and then he goes to find out his real target. Well, he goes to
one of his 2 real targets.
Yeah. So the first one, he goes to Florida.
Yeah.
And he has what is effectively probably like the most, if you like, action-packed sequence of the film.
Yeah.
Which is, he goes into Florida, finds your man's address.
Yeah.
Right, he's out in his bayou in his fucking like big old like timber house
with Hummer trucks,
massive Hummer truck with big fucking bulldog.
Yeah.
American pit.
Yeah.
It's massive. It's a massive pit as well. And what does he do? He basically drugs the dog.
Yeah.
And then breaks into the house, and he ends up having this knockdown, drag out, brutal fight.
And what I suspect about that fight, you remember I talked to you about that fight when we finished the movie. Yeah. I think this entire fight was in CGI. First of all, the light was very dim, but you can still see all the movement and stuff like that. And also every impact hit in front of the camera. There's no the angled camera. If the camera is at a certain angle, and I just put my fist between your face and the camera, it looked like I hit you.
Yeah.
There's no such thing. There's other thing. And I remember one scene when he's stretching back, you see the muscle clearly like stretching and stuff like that, but almost too clear. That's the thing is, that what make me think is CGI. It was almost too clear to be shot on camera.
Yeah, to be honest with you, like, you might be right. I mean, I'm not too sure myself, like, having just seen the movie. So,
but I'm sure that some of the fight scene, or some of the action scene, were entirely made in CGI.
No, yeah, well, that's the thing, though. I mean, because I remember, was it Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, or was it Zodiac?
Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, a car scene was entirely CGI.
Oh yeah, the chase scene.
The chase scene, even the flames were CGI. The chase scene was CGI, and also you see some moments with cars that are completely CGI. For example, like it's weird that I can see this. Do you know what I mean?
Well, the thing is, like, the point I was going to make was, like, in terms of like the physical impacts, and that was like,
is it a failure that and if there is CGI, is it a failure if I noticed there was CGI?
Yeah, well, the thing is, what you got to bear in mind is, like, do Do you reckon it's 100%? You know that's CGI.
I'm 90% sure.
Like
Literally,
90
it's 90% sure.
Okay, you're 90%.
I can literally tell you that's right, the CGI. That's right, the CGI. That's right, the CGI.
Yeah, look, to be honest, you are probably right. I'm not arguing whether you're right or wrong.
Because there is like some car scene that's CGI. There is some, like, for example, the plane flying over the distance, you know, like, his camera is moving there, and the plane is completely CGI. I could see that. It's a thing with CGI. It's like, basically, what I would describe my my intuition. It's clearer than if it was in real life. It's crispier than it was in camera.
Yeah, I mean, look, again, I'm not going to argue with you.
It's not a
criticism.
A criticism because the fight scene look brutal.
Yeah, it looks. The point I was making, what I was going to make was like, it wasn't just the car chase scenes, but what was it? I think was it either in Zodiac or in the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. I can't remember which one it is, but even the blood is CGI.
It's the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo because he didn't have the technique for 7 yet. The CGI was not like it was made in 2001?
No, I'm not talking about 7. No, 7 was made in 95.
95, yeah.
No, I'm talking about I think it was in Zodiac. There were certain scenes that were of the kill, where your man killed the women and whatever else, but where the blood was splattered, because what he didn't want to do is he didn't want to go back in and clean up the sets afterwards.
Oh, that's a fair reason.
So rather than do that,
basically you can do the shot over and over again without having to use fake blood.
And because fake blood makes a mess.
And do you know when he shoot him and the toilet is like splatter with the blood thing?
Yeah.
I think that's what CGI as well, because the splatter is perfect.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's so perfect that I know it's fake.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there also even in a social network movie, like the movie that you think there is no CGI.
There's loads of CGI.
There's a lot of CGI. For example, the scene where they're outside, it's cold.
Armie Hammer was in that playing twins.
Oh, true, yeah. I forgot about that.
Do you know what I mean? So, like, that's the thing.
There is no twins.
Yeah, I think there was, like, between them, though, I think it was, like, over 700 composite shots, if I remember rightly. I might be wrong on the number, I'm not too sure. I think it was something like 700 composite shots in that movie with just them two.
And also Benjamin Button, all the old...
Exactly.
Brad Pitt CGI, like, young, old CGI Brad Pitt.
Exactly. So, that's the thing, though. I mean, the David Fincher likes to use CGI, but not to make, like, big things go boom. Is to make sure, like, contact is real, that car chases, to get shots that you can't always get with the camera.
It doesn't trust random. And basically what failed the killer, the character of the killer, what always failed to him is what is random. So the movement of the dancer. And the thing that's failed the character in the story is the randomness. Yeah,
but do you think, in a way, right, hear me out on this, in a way, do you think that maybe the killer in this movie
is basically the imaginary life of David Fincher? If David Fincher was a serial killer. Oh, not serial killer, sorry, a killer. Like
an assassin.
And a hitman, yeah.
Yeah.
It is like literally, it might be David Fincher.
Because they're both looking for the perfect shot.
Yeah, they both look for the perfect shot. They're very they leave nothing to chance. But the thing that's failed them is this randomness.
Yeah.
Is the thing that they don't have control to.
Yeah, because you can't have control over all the variables. You just can't. It's just,
It has to fail at some point.
Yeah, there's always going to be a point of failure. It doesn't matter how well you plan for it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And so that fight scene with this the guy, beautiful fight scene, and also like that moment, like when he got this like a table, like a broken table piece on his back.
Yeah,
and you can hear the blood like falling into the thing. It's like
disgusting.
It's the sound of it's just the sound of a lot of blood like dripping on the thing. The guy was dead. He knew the guy was dead.
Oh yeah, if he wasn't dead there and then, he was going to die pretty fucking soon. The amount of blood he was losing, and the thing is, like, you see him staggering towards the bathroom where Michael Fassbender is, and the amount of blood that's just gushing out,
it's
man.
Just like
it's like
it's just like you're gonna die soon, man. You're gonna die soon. And also the scene with the dog is like amazing because it's the first time I see the dog play very well this role.
Absolutely.
And you see the dog like going into the room and smell his owner, and when he realizes his owner is like dead, he's just like run for it,
you should run through a glass door.
That's so fucking cool. That moment was very cool.
Mental.
I hope he didn't kill the dog. So he didn't kill the dog, so it's good.
Probably sugar glass, but
no, it shouldn't have, because the dog it has nothing to do with it. He could have killed the dog. It's like, when he was asleep from the
maybe it's like poisoned it or something. I don't know.
No, he was not poisoned. He took some sleeping pills and stuff like that and put it into a bowl of thing.
Meat, yeah.
And also it's funny because the first bowl of thing, he didn't take it. The second one, he didn't take it. And the third one, he just take it, because he was realizing, how do I make sure, because he was in darkness as well, so he couldn't see the meatball full of sleeping pill.
Yeah.
So he went a bit more into the light and throw it at it, so he could see where it went.
Yeah.
So even that he couldn't prepare. So he tried to get the dog to
but he was trying to cover the variables. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
he was trying to get the dog to eat the thing, but it didn't succeed the first time.
Yeah,
it's all those things that he doesn't have control of. I think it's a good movie about that, about things that you don't have control of.
Yeah, because you can't have control over everything. You just can't.
Yeah.
Like another thing, because anyway, after that sequence, he goes and meets Tilda Swinton.
Yes.
Right, and she does look like a Q-tip in this.
Yeah, the secretary said that, described the girl as saying that she looked like a Q-tip.
A Q-tip, yeah. And sure enough, she did. All in white. Right. Tilda Swinton, again, I've seen her in so many movies. She always looks completely fucking different. It's mental what that woman's able to do. She is a proper chameleon.
Yes.
But yeah, anyway. But the thing is, this is the confrontation between her and Fassbender's character is very different because it's a lot more psychological.
It's a lot more like
she almost tries to charm him.
No, yes, telling her jokes and stuff like that. It's and he kind of laughed to the joke as well. It's the most silliest joke ever as well.
Basically about a bear fucking a hunter, but
fucking a hunter. In the it's a pretty cool joke. In the movie, it's cool because the scene will not let you have it. And then for so long in that scene, I thought the waiters was going to do something. It's obvious that she's in danger, or it's obvious that the guy was not supposed to be there. The guy is battered and stuff like that, but the waiter keep his professional and just everybody keep the professional. Basically, nobody's gonna scream or stuff like that. It's all respectfully.
Yeah. So anyway, they have this sequence. They have this conversation, and then he walks out the restaurant
to find a spot that she decides to die in.
Yeah. But the thing is, though, she falls over. And initially, what would you normally do
if a lady falls over?
You go and help her up.
Yeah.
But
stand up.
But what does he do?
He shoots her straight away.
Block and just bangs her in the head with it.
And he was right.
Because she was lying at the bottom of the stairs with a knife in her hand.
Yeah.
Crafty old girl.
Yeah.
But it's because there's that mantra he says. Was it?
And he says it again after that.
Yeah, because he keeps saying it. Stick to the plan and anticipate. Don't improvise. Trust no one. Never yield an advantage. Fight only the battles you're paid to fight.
Yeah.
He says that every time just before he kills someone.
Yeah.
Right, just before he kills someone. So and the other one is forbid empathy. Empathy is weakness. Weakness is vulnerability. Because that's the thing. He says that just as she's falling over.
Yeah.
She falls over. Oh, can you give me a hand?
So yeah.
And he says, weakness is vulnerability. Bang.
Yeah.
Gone. She's out of the picture.
Empathy is vulnerability. So if he was empathic just a second to her,
shit, that's
it would have been him done. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. She was shivved him into the waiting arms of oblivion.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think I love that. I love that kind of it's almost like rather than it just being a duel of brute force like the previous fight was. Yeah. This was very much a kind of duel of wits.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, then who's going to come out on top of this one? And I mean, again, with the fight, it was equally balanced. It could have gone either way, but you knew because
in the fight thing with the other guy before her, when he reached in the kitchen drawer to get what you think would be a knife.
No, it's a cheese grater.
Of course, you go over your head, open the first drawer, you're not going to fall over it. There's 1 out of 50, 50-50, you're going to find something useful. But what he did is you have a cheese grater. But he used the cheese grater.
Yeah, to distract as a distraction. Yeah.
It was funny. He's has a cheese grater.
Because you look at his face, he's like,
yeah. Of course, he was he has a 50-50 chance to find the knife drawer, but he was not the knife drawer. He was but it's because it's real life. I think it's the most real life, idea of what a killer life will be.
Well, it could be, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think it's really well done. I mean, and in the end, like, what was it? So anyway, look, he gets his retribution.
Yeah.
He goes.
It's not really retribution. Like he killed the people who are of beating up his wife.
No,
which is not wife.
Well, basically what he did was the last person he visits, right? He goes. I think it's in New York. Was it New York?
New York, yeah.
Yeah.
No, wait, Chicago.
He went back to Chicago.
So no, it was Florida. Then it was
When he
New Orleans. It was the lawyer.
New Orleans. I thought Chicago.
Florida.
No, right, you're right.
Florida was the big brute.
New York was
the Turnus and Chicago is the client.
Yes, that's it. You're right.
The client, who is basically this small, like
old fucking billionaire dude.
Billionaire guy, tried to be cool. Investing in stocks thing, like, you know, like, yeah.
Well, he's got a big apartment in there. He's clearly done well for himself, but he's like got a personal trainer and all that sort of bollocks.
Yeah, he's just a rich cunt, like.
Exactly. He's just a rich cunt. He was a rich cunt trying to play in games that he didn't know how to play in.
Yeah, because he was the first time asking for. An assassination job, and the guy was like, "Oh, I didn't know what to do." And your man, the lawyer guy, said, "I could basically pay for extra insurance," which the insurance meant that he will come back to the killer who failed his job and get rid of him. Yeah.
And that didn't work out well for any of them. So anyway, you go. What I like about that is he leaves instead of just outright murdering him. Right, he turns around to him and it says, "If I can get into you once, I can get into you again. Any more of that fucking bollocks from you, sunshine, and I'll fucking have you."
Yeah, you can. Your coffee machine could be like the coffee machine or stuff like that. The cups there could be the last thing that you drink. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. I mean,
it was so easy to get to you. I can get to you anytime.
Yeah, and that's what's great about it. It's just like, I mean. So then he leaves with uncertainty, and then in the end, the epilogue is just basically like him reuniting with his girlfriend.
Also, it's the first time that you see him like. Okay, it's like you see him at his home, and he's giving this coffee to his girlfriend. And have you seen the way she freaked out when he was behind him, because she's still not
entirely over it. And you can see the scar as well.
Yeah, you see the scar. She's not recovered from the trauma, so somebody. Like sneaking around the behind her, like trigger her a little bit. Yeah, and it's the last scene. Basically, the last scene is that we see he finally sleep. You know, like he holds his head, like it's like, and then his eye twitching, and it's just like fall asleep straight away. Like
So because he doesn't have to be vigilant.
He doesn't have to be vigilant anymore.
So that's the thing. Like, I mean, like
the only people that can get to him are all dead. Or
scared shitless.
Yeah.
So I mean, anyway, so that's basically what happens throughout the entirety of the film. I mean, I again, like, just to turn as a kind of like trying to emphasize my thoughts, kind of crystallize my thoughts on it, and obviously you do the same. But I think this is such a well done movie. It's like it's such a well crafted, such a technically crafted movie. By a director who, again, I mean, what do you reckon I mean, because I did try and find the budget off before we watched the movie.
But it's Netflix TV, so they just cut really very rarely of how much money was it, how much time did they spend to make the movie. It's like those information are hidden by Netflix.
Yeah, because they're not a studio. All right, so the reason why a lot of studios will put out how much it costs to make the movie is because they want to show how much profit they're making or losses they're making, if you're Disney at the moment, on their movies. Disney doesn't have to. Netflix doesn't have to give out the information. They don't give a fuck. You know, this film had like a very limited release. It was like, according to this, it was released in Netherlands, Portugal, and South Korea.
Which I don't understand why it was never released in cinema everywhere else.
I don't understand it either.
Maybe those countries are the place where the killer couldn't be shown on Netflix.
Maybe, I don't know, because like its total international, according to Box Office Mojo, is $421,332. So obviously this isn't making money at the box office, but Netflix isn't interested in that. They don't give a flying fuck. Mm-hmm. That what they want to do is they want to have prestige content. I fucking hate
because
that term,
there is prestige about the movie.
David Fincher, Michael Fassbender. There's massive prestige in this fucking project.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? And not only that,
it's not a project.
Yeah, no, it's a brilliant art, mate. Yeah. I'll give you that because art is art. Sorry, no gatekeeping and all that.
Yeah.
But in terms of like, this is a brilliant film. Mm-hmm. This is a really good film,
and it's yeah.
Because the thing is, a lot of projects from Netflix, from what I understand, I haven't watched everything. I haven't watched Red Notice or any of that kind of stuff, so I don't know how good or bad they are. But I've heard you hear that not every movie that comes out on Netflix is very good.
But like recently, they have like great director making small movies, not small movies, but like movie on Netflix. It's quite a small movie, like when you and scope wise, like. I mean, it's not a big, it's not a small movie.
No,
at
it's
all.
not.
Sorry,
it's not. Like, it really isn't. I'd say I'd be amazed if this film cost less than $100 million.
Since recently, Netflix have like a few short movie from what's his name again? The Grand Budapest Hotel, the Darjeeling Limited.
Your favorite director of all time?
It's not my
Wes
favorite.
Anderson.
It's not my favorite director of all time. It's one of my favorite.
Wes Anderson.
He did like a lot of Wes Anderson, like little short on Netflix. Yeah. And now there's
David Fincher.
David Fincher. Now, yeah. So you see, like
Martin Scorsese with The Irishman.
Yes, Martin Scorsese for The Irishman. They only recently invest in greater director to promote their Netflix original, which before it was like a lot of Netflix original. Like.
Well, hopefully what Netflix is going to stop doing now. Because I think there was this kind of like weird period, I'd say between like say 2019 and maybe last year, where first they were ramping up the streaming wars, and the streaming wars were taking place. Now I think like the dust is kind of laid on that now.
Yeah, nobody gives a shit anymore.
Like Disney Plus is not doing brilliantly.
No.
The content that it's producing isn't really drawing people in.
So instead of using this money to fight this war, they're just using this money to make good content.
Consolidate.
Yeah, consolidate. And that's the thing they should be doing. It's not like, making good content.
Yeah.
With the money that we give them, actually.
Yeah. I mean, like, instead of... Yeah, rather than just fucking chucking, like, I think also, like, they own that movie now. Do you know what I mean? They've got the rights to that movie, which is kind of concerning.
Yeah, I know.
Because of the whole streaming thing. Because, like, what we talked about it before.
The loss of physical content. You don't own... Basically, you don't own anymore. You don't own movies anymore if you don't buy DVDs or Blu-rays. You own you don't own... You have the access to it.
You're renting access.
You pay the access to it.
Yeah, that's all you're doing.
But if the company decide to remove that movie from their server... You will not be able to see that movie ever again.
Well, because that's what happened recently.
And this movie will be forgotten.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, though, is like very recently, I remember hearing about it on a podcast on YouTube. It was the John Campion podcast. Basically, Discovery have pulled all their content, including content that you would have paid for, to, not the streaming stuff. So you would have paid for a la carte, yeah? What they've done is they've pulled that content. They're not refunding anyone. They're not saying, all right, here's your money back.
No.
Or here's an access code that you can go into this website so you can download it if you want to continue watching it. Mm-hmm. No.
It's oopsies. We don't know this anymore, so...
Yeah. It's
you're fucked.
Right, so Discovery, Sony didn't renew the contract, and now it's no longer available on PlayStation.
And it doesn't matter if you spent €800 on it. You're never going to get your money back.
No.
First of all, your product is never going to be seen again, and your money is never going to be seen again. Your investment,
Well, that's the thing, though, is because what Discovery are obviously doing is they're pulling their stuff back across, so it's only on Warner Brothers, WBO Max, whatever the fuck it's called, HBO Max, sorry. So that's what they're really interested in. So this is the thing, is like, I mean, though I'm glad that Netflix has funded this movie and released it, I really do fucking hope they don't pull like whatever kind of like, because I mean, who actually, what production company made it? Do we know? I don't think we do. It just is a Netflix production.
Yeah.
So did Netflix have they got their own in-house productions team going now? Like much like a studio. I think they
might have a studio department.
It's like what happened with like for instance, with Daredevil. That was made for Netflix. That was funded by Netflix. They paid for it, right? But it was done by ABC, which is under Disney.
Yes. Okay.
And the rights to those shows eventually expired. They moved off Netflix, and now they're on Disney Plus. And I I've got I don't know. We're living in weird times, and I'm hoping like this kind of. Not only that, what was it on Disney Plus? That kind of. I mean, I don't know who watched it. Apparently, it was like there was this Willow TV show. Do you know the movie Willow from the 80s? It was. I vaguely remember. I think I might have even watched it as a kid. I'm not too sure. But it was owned by LucasArts.
Yes.
Right, and LucasArts made the TV series for Disney Plus.
Yes.
And what did they do with it? They just pulled it off for about, I think, 3 months.
Yeah.
Never to be seen again.
Yeah, and of course it's like only on subscription like media, and so it's never going to be seen again.
Yeah,
and I think
we're living in strange times, man.
I think what's happening right now that Netflix is changing their policy, Disney Plus is like putting more price for their subscription.
Yeah,
like no more you can share different household like accounts and stuff like that. Now people are going to, and also on top of that they did canceling or deleting film and media that was that's not going to be available because there's no physical copy.
Yeah.
I think that people now, I don't know the future, but I think that people would be going back to Blu-rays and DVDs and physical ownership of the movie, because they don't want them to be it's so shit that you remember that movie was on Netflix and they're like, oh, we could watch that, and go on Netflix is no longer available on Netflix.
Yeah, but also the big problem is, right, with this kind of like, it's not even just like the siloing of content. Like, for instance, like what was great about Netflix about 10, 12 years ago when I first subscribed to Netflix,
it was easy to get
everything was there.
Everything was there. Yeah,
everything was there. Doesn't matter where you want it.
Now there's so much so much competitor in the market that just I take this, you take this, and stuff like that, and basically you must have a subscription to every platform to watch any movie that you like, and it's
or
like
TV series.
It just doesn't. Yeah. It just doesn't. People don't have that much money to spend on media.
And not only that, the prices are going up. They're getting more expensive. Do you know what I mean? So like you're going to have to make a decision, and then there's don't be entirely surprised if like further down the line we end up getting these it'll be bundles. Oh yeah, for this one price you can get Disney Plus and Netflix and Paramount for the low price of $50 a month.
Yeah, but like
that is happening.
Would you think we're starting the end of streaming services?
No,
it's not.
I think streaming service like Netflix, especially like Netflix, is the £800 gorilla.
And it's not only movies and TV shows that's impacted by this. It's video game as well. Like now there's like services like Steam that have or Epic Game or have a catalog of video game, and when they remove one game from their server, it's no longer available.
Well, I don't think Steam has ever done that, because Steam has a lot of dog shit on Steam. But I'm not even talking about like basically like you can put anything on Steam. Anyone can put anything on Steam.
Any game could be put on Steam.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, like that, I think with Steam's model, they don't. I don't think if they're allowing so much dog. Never mind the professional quality games. I've recently bought Hades. I fucking love that game. It's so good.
Yeah, you keep talking about it.
Yeah, I know. I keep talking about it. I don't care. It's fucking amazing. But yeah, I recently bought Hades. But things like you can download the game.
Yeah.
Right, so on Steam, it's not the same thing really, because you're not streaming. Like streaming games isn't the same, because film is a passive activity.
Yeah.
Right. So the lag isn't important. But if you're playing a game like say Street Fighter 6, or you're playing any game that involves like very kind of fine reflexes, like that microsecond difference, because the speed of light is still the speed of light. Right. So it's still got to go from your controller to your box, down your internet connection, back up your internet connection to your box, up to your screen to show what's happened. So like, yeah, you can get away with certain games, more like slower, more methodical games. But if you're playing Doom, or if you're playing like competitively on an online shooter, like, I don't know, COD or whatever, like you need like split second reactions. It has to be like the lag has to be as near to non-existent as is humanly possible.
Yeah, there will always be lag, but like you have to be.
But it has to be like the latency has to be next and as close to zero as you can possibly get. So I don't think streaming. I don't think streaming games is a big issue in terms because you've got to download the games. Like any game that I bought on Steam, I've had to download it in order to play.
So
it.
you can have an imprint of it.
Yeah, so you can have it on your hard drive or on your computer or an external hard drive or whatever. Do you know what I mean? You can have it somewhere stored externally. But when it comes to more passive content like TV shows, like movies, like
that's streaming. Literally.
Yeah, exactly. That
also like the quality. Sometimes the quality of streaming is bad. It doesn't matter. It depends on the internet connection. I know, but like
the files are compressed,
literally the best internet connection versus a Blu-ray of the same movie. The Blu-ray would be to the streaming version of the Netflix.
No, I'm not disputing that at all. You're 100% correct. But the problem is, it's like what
the sound is compressed.
But if it say me and you, right, we would quite happily. Like I used to have a huge before I moved to Ireland and that. I used to have a pretty decently sized Blu-ray collection. It wasn't like fucking gigantic. I had quite a few Blu-rays.
It's the movie that you loved and you were ready to rewatch.
And stuff like I'd like the Game of Thrones boxes. Before Game of Thrones went shit. We won't go into that again.
No, it's fine. It's okay.
But yeah, I had I invested in Blu-ray, so I'm the sort of person, and you're the sort of person who would readily invest in the better quality, the better audio, the better quality production, all that kind of thing. 4K, all of that, to get the best possible rendition of the entertainment that you want to watch. But the problem is, most people, good enough is exactly that. It's good enough. Do you know what I mean? So, if they only have a 1080p TV and don't have a top tier, and it's only 40 inches and they don't have a sound bar, that, all that kind of bollocks,
basically all Christopher Nolan requirement to watch this movie.
Exactly. Yeah. If they're just watching it on their fucking, their iPad or their laptop or their fucking phone. Some people watch movies on their phone.
Watching my movie on IMAX with surround sound, you're not going to appreciate my movie.
Exactly. Do you know what I mean?
Christopher Nolan.
God bless his heart.
This movie's great, to be fair.
He is a brilliant director.
But
But the thing is, unfortunately, the way things are at the moment, for the vast majority of people, good enough is exactly that. It's good enough.
Yeah.
And if they're happy with what they're getting, then I think it's going to be the way vinyl is now. Yeah. There's people who love vinyl and they will quite happily go out and buy vinyl records, but that doesn't mean vinyl is going to make a resurgence.
No, but it's just a physical copy.
Yeah.
It's just you own something that you can touch.
But I think if stuff like Netflix, what reason does Netflix have to release The Killer
on DVD?
On DVD, Blu-ray.
Yeah.
What reason do they have? Why would they do it?
The only way that the only reason that this movie would be there if David Fincher, the contract with Netflix and want to get extra money from Netflix. Maybe,
but I honestly, the thing is, what you got to bear in mind is, especially when it comes to movies, or any kind of content, really, when you think about it, whether it's video games, whether it's YouTube videos, whether it's movies, the majority of the money's made in the initial period of its release, and then it kind of tapers off quite a lot.
Yeah.
But a lot of movies can still make money on the back end. Back in the day, it'd be because do you remember? Me and you spoke about that interview with Matt Damon before, haven't we? Where you could get these $40-50 million $30-40-50 million movies back in the early 2000s because you had DVD.
You have the after cinema market,
exactly.
The DVD market and the Blu-ray market.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you had it gave movies a much longer tail. But the problem is now, although you can still make movie. TV. There are still TV stations out there. They still exist.
Yeah.
And they will pay, Sky TV in the UK and Ireland. They'll pay for their Sky movies. People still pay for their Sky Movie subscriptions. So they'll get after a couple of months, when it's finished release on cinema, it'll go to Sky Movies, and once it's done in Sky Movies, then you'll see it on Netflix and all these other streaming platforms.
Yeah.
But if you're a company but again, with stuff like The Killer, anything like Netflix produces, they've got no incentive whatsoever to reproduce anything physically, because what that does is the reason why they produced The Killer, the reason why they've invested the money and the talent into make this movie, which is again a brilliant movie, both loved it. The problem is that movie Netflix don't need they've invested in that money, so people will then come to their platform to watch that content.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. So
they want people to subscribe to watch their movies.
Yeah, exactly.
To watch those movies.
Yeah, exactly. That's their MO. That's their business model, and it makes complete sense. But if at any point that doesn't make them money, because the thing is, like now we're seeing like movie studios, like was it last year or this year when they cancelled that Batgirl movie? That's a klaxon. Right, you're going to see a lot more of this. Then Disney got rid of that Willow TV series.
Or Netflix get rid of the movie Hush. That's basically being never like it's a movie that was on Netflix, but basically there's no copy of it. So this movie is gone. It's no longer on Netflix. No longer show that movie. So that movie is gone from the face of the earth.
So what? So are Netflix just hiding it in the vault, or they
just like deleted the thing? It's just never there to be seen. Like, and all the work and all the people that worked in the movie, the job had become useless. I think that if I was David Fincher and I was making this movie, I would have guaranteed that there would be a physical version of that movie.
Oh yeah. I'd say he's one of the few directors with the clout to be able to do that. Do you know what I mean?
Like Ben Scorsese, like doing for The Irishman, like.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't dispute that, but if you're just like, the thing is, like I said, when it comes to like when a movie studio will spend, because I believe the budget for this Batgirl movie was something around $70 million, if I remember rightly. Because again, I'm not hearing his second, third, fourth hand. I mean, we don't have connections with movie studios or anything like that.
No, we don't.
So we're hearing this again. We're playing the game of telephone, and we're at the very back of the fucking game. So $70 million production, right? And then this movie just gets they have a look at it. Apparently it wasn't very good. Apparently it was just going to go straight to streaming, but then they felt that it wasn't good enough to even be released, so they just basically kiboshed the whole thing.
So basically nobody's getting paid.
No, everyone got paid. In fairness,
cool.
Everyone got paid. Look, don't get me wrong,
there is safety.
Yeah,
there is safety net.
Yeah, exactly. So in fairness, like the people who were involved with it did get paid, right, which is a good thing. But what's bad about it is whether the movie was any good or not, I think it's by the by. That movie is never going to be seen by anybody outside of Warner Brothers, ever.
Or we have like a trailer like that leaks out, yeah.
Well, that's the thing though. The apparent. I mean, again, I don't know how true this is because again, we're playing the game of telephone here, so I'm not entirely sure.
He says, she says, like yeah,
exactly. But apparently, the movie was all the film stock was either destroyed or permanently locked up. It had to be because it was a tax write-off. So that film.
This movie was already a tax write-off.
So basically, what they've done is they've cancelled the movie and they've written off the money they've spent on it against the American tax office.
So it was just a way to get rid of tax.
Basically, yeah.
Which is very sad. That's the only goal you have for a movie.
Well, that was not the goal for it, but that ended up being its raison d'etre, so to speak.
That's a bit sad.
It is sad.
Yeah. Anyway, should we end up the video there?
Yeah, anyway, I'll tell you what, look, final thoughts on The Killer. Just getting back to that. Final thoughts. Final.
Yeah.
I really enjoy this movie. Do I feel it's one of David Fincher's best movies?
It's good.
It's very good. It's very, very good. I'm not saying it's not. All right, bear this in mind, please. But the perspective is, you've got to bear in mind. For me, this man's directed one of my favourite films of all time in Fight Club. He directed Seven, one of the greatest fucking films of all time, I feel, especially after coming off the back of Alien 3.
Gone Girl was one of the best.
Gone Girl's so good.
It's one of the best trailer of the modern trailer,
yeah, absolutely. And you've got The Social Network. I don't care what anyone says. I like that movie.
Yeah.
So like this guy, it's not so much that, oh, look, this film's rubbish. It's not. It's like David Fincher, his batting average, an American baseball term.
If you're expecting,
it's ridiculously good.
If you're expecting a John Wick action compact movie, you're like, it's not going to be this.
Go watch John Wick.
Go watch John Wick 4, and you have the action movie. This is not an action movie. This is a movie about artistry and about like meticulousness.
No, it's a thriller.
It's a thriller.
Yeah, there's a lot of tension.
Yes.
And there's some amount of action in it.
Yeah.
But it's not an action movie.
No.
So don't go in expecting John Wick, but someone else.
Yeah.
No. That's the thing.
It's a slow, smart and deliberate movie.
Yeah.
There we go.
And it's very, very good.
Okay. All right.
All right. So anyway, that was The Killer by David Fincher. We both really enjoyed it. And what we'd like you to do, because it's something we've been guilty of not doing, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
We'd like to start a conversation. So if you've got anything you want to say about what we're saying about the movie, please do so in the comments down below. If you like what we're doing, why not give us an old subscribe, give us a like, get the old engagement engine going so we can actually get some more views on this shit. And I think just look, we're trying to build this up and we need all the help we can get. So if you can help us really get this engine going, we very much appreciate
Can I
it.
share something?
Yeah, go on.
In a comment, if you can just spare 2 seconds of your time and write down one movie that we haven't talked about yet and we should watch.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah, just like, or do not say that my hair is greasy and you're like, you don't like my haircut, or do you know, like, or you think
I should dye my beard.
yeah, just like,
Or John should lose weight.
Just like, and I should gain some weight. Eat all the soup. But like, yeah, just share anything that you want to share. Share.
Yeah, do it. All right, look, let's just start getting a conversation going. You talk with us, we'll talk back to you, and we'll take it from there, shall we?
Just share with us what you eat for the lunch and dinner. Okay. All right.
Yeah. By that we don't mean taking a shit on us either, because we're not dirty like that.
No.
So anyway, look, fuck it. We'll round this out, shall we?
Yes, we are.
All right. My name's been John Clare.
I've been Roman Fresh.
This has been Post Watch Post Mortem, and we'll see you next time.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye bye.